It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water, like water, like water, like water, like water. Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless.
A few years ago, Simon Sinek made a discovery. His discovery profoundly changed his view on how he thought the world worked, and even profoundly changed the way in which he operated it. He carries on to say that as it turns out, there is a pattern. As it turns out, all the great and inspiring leaders and organisations in the world, whether it's Apple, Martin Luther King or the Wright brothers, they all think and act and communicate in exactly the same way, and it's the complete opposite to everyone else. And what Simon Sinek did was codify it. It's probably the world's simplest idea, and he calls it the golden circle. Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organisations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. He goes on to say, every single person, every single organisation on the planet knows what they do 100%. Some know how they do it, whether they call it their differential value proposition or your proprietary processor or USP, but very few people or organisations know why they do what they do. He goes on to say that your why, it doesn't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, he says, what is your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organisation exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care? Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. It's obvious we go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organisations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think and act and communicate from the inside out. Simon Sinek gives us a great example. He uses the company Apple because they are easy to understand and everybody gets it. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use and user-friendly. Want to buy one? As Simon says, nah. And he says that's how most of us communicate. That's how most marketing is done. That's how most sales are done. And that's how most of us communicate interpersonally. We say what we do. We say how we are different or how we are better. And we expect some sort of behaviour or a purchase or a vote or something. He gives an example of this. Here's our new car. It gets great gas mileage. It has leather seats. Buy our car. Here is how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our product beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? And as he says, totally different, right? You are ready to buy a computer from me. All he did was reverse the order of the information. And what it proves to us is that people don't buy what you do. People buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. This explains why every single person in this room is perfectly comfortable buying a computer from Apple, but are also perfectly comfortable buying an MP3 player from Apple, or a phone from Apple, or a DVR from Apple. There is nothing that distinguishes them structurally from any of their competitors. Their competitors are all equally qualified to make all of these products. In fact, they tried a few years ago. He says Gateway came out with flat screen TVs and are eminently qualified to make flat screen TVs. They've been making flat screen monitors for years. Nobody bought one. Dell came out with an MP3 player and PDAs, and they make great quality products, and they can make perfectly well designed products, and nobody bought one. He goes on to say, in fact, talking about it, we can't even imagine buying an MP3 player from Dell. Why would you buy an MP3 player from a computer company? But we do it every day. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. The goal is, he said, is not to do business with everybody who needs what you have. The goal is to do business with people who believe what you believe. Here's the best part, he said. None of what I am telling you is my opinion. It's all grounded in the tenets of biology, not psychology, biology. He goes on to say, if you look at a cross-section of the brain looking from the top down, what you see is the human brain is actually broken into 3 major components that correlate perfectly with the golden circle. Our newest brain, our Homo sapiens brain, our neocortex, corresponds with the what level. It's also responsible for all human behaviour and all decision making, and it has no capacity for language. In other words, he says, when we are communicating from the outside in, yes, people can understand vast amounts of complicated information like features and benefits and facts and figures. It just doesn't drive behaviour. Now he says, this is where gut decisions come from. And they say, I know what all the facts and figures are, but it just doesn't feel right. Why should we use that verb? It doesn't feel right. Because the part of the brain that controls decision making doesn't control language, and the best we can muster up is, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Or sometimes you say, you are leading with your heart, you're leading with your soul. Well, he says, he hates to break it to you, but those other body parts controlling your behaviour, it is all happening here in your limbic brain. The part of the brain that controls decision making and not language. But if you don't know why you do what you do, and people respond to why you do what you do, how will you ever get people to vote for you, buy something from you, or more importantly, be loyal and want to be a part of what it is you do? He ends by saying, again, the goal is not to sell people what you have. The goal is to sell to people who believe in what you believe.
It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water, like water. Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Empty your mind.